Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And I have T-Rev going on the bottom. So I've done some digging and I have questions. So I know some of you guys have been following this longer than I have, because to me it's the same old stuff over and over and over and over. But by the way, if you want to support me, you can do that through Super Chat, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo. Mods will be dropping it all night. Welcome, subscriber. Can't see who the subscriber is, but welcome. So I don't know if T-Rev is there, if he's replaying JLR. I don't know who's driving in the car because I don't have the sound on. But I distinctly remember, and I'm going to play it again because I didn't catch the whole thing, but I distinctly remember law enforcement from the second half of the press conference telling everybody to get the fuck out of there. Am I wrong on this? Because I'm pretty sure I'm right on this. So I don't know why they're all still out there. I think the cops were pretty clear that they're hindering, they're not helping, and they need to go. So, oh my God, really, dude. Can you come up with a better fucking troll? So I'm thinking, I don't know why they're still there. Thank you, Kumi. Much, much appreciated. Especially since we got to take Doggy to the vet tomorrow. Hey, Zelda. So, I don't know.
Don't hit subscribe. I always try to tell them, but they do it every time. I tell them there's a problem, but they acting like it's fine. I'm begging them to stop, but they leave me with a like.
Has everybody watched the press conference? Is there anyone that hasn't seen the press conference? Because like I said, I saw half of it. I didn't see all of it. And then I'll get into the psychic stuff. But there's this chick on TikTok that she was pretty interesting. And she showed a video of Daniel like in her backyard. It was pretty interesting. They could be outside printer. JLR and Nick are doing good. Not in the way. Don't know about anybody else. All right. Yeah, but hasn't the perimeter changed? All right, so let me pull it up. But here's, before we even play it, here's a question that I do have for anyone. I know there's not a lot of people in here yet, but even if you see this later and you leave a comment underneath the video, he's an illegal immigrant. Why is he not being, why was he sentenced here? Why isn't he deported? So I tried looking up some deportation stuff, and I still can't understand why he's still here. Why he was sentenced in the States. He should have been, because Brazil's not going to deny him because he's wanted for murder there. So they're definitely going to take him. So he was technically illegally sentenced here. He should have been deported back to Brazil and gotten him out of here. So if anyone understands what I'm talking about, I would love some input. Because it's one thing to hit me like, wait a second, he's an illegal alien. His sister was deported today or brought, into ICE or whatever. So why was he even sentenced here? It almost sounds like it was an illegal sentencing. Yes, but because he's an illegal immigrant, he shouldn't have been sentenced here. He should have been, according to the law, he should have been transferred, deported back to Brazil. The only way that he should have been charged here, from what I'm understanding, like from what I'm reading, is if Brazil denied him or Brazil didn't take him, then he could be charged here. But even if he commits murder here, You have to do your sentence. No, that's not what I'm reading, Cake. That's what I'm saying. I looked it up, and that's not what it's saying. It's basically saying that you're going to get deported before you get sentenced. Not that you have to do your time. And I looked it up. And most criminals, rape, murder, get deported. And a lot of them get let go, as a matter of fact. It was pretty interesting. All right, let me pull up press conference first. That's the old one. Hold on. What? All right, this is weird. Hang on. Only place I can find is Zickmel's stream. So if anyone knows where else to get it besides Zickmel's stream, let me know, because that's all I see. To see the psychic, Brazil denied him because of the sentence for murder 6 to 15, and the sentence is harsher here. Aha! Thank you. So Brazil did deny him. Now that makes sense then. Now, thank you for answering that question. Because that was my biggest question. Was this doesn't add up. All right. Hang on. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I could probably get it from USA Today. All right, here we go. No, it's the 7th. Is this the one from today? Hold on. Oh. No, this is the one from a few days ago. Wasn't there one today? Like, I'm not imagining it. Was there not a press conference today? Because I saw one today. There was, right? Why can't I find it anywhere? I can't find this press conference anywhere. Hey, Rock Jam. Does anyone know where to find it? Because I can't find it anywhere. Everything is from 3 days ago. Hold on. Yeah, 3 days ago. Yeah, I know Iqmal. Who's Michelle? Yeah, I don't want to use Melzo. Not USA. This is so weird. Yeah, Duty Ron, definitely not. Alright, I'll use Michelle. Alright, let's see. If she had a press conference from 3 hours ago, it's not on her stream. I just skimmed through the whole stream. It's not there. This is like really weird. Yeah, Michelle After Dark doesn't have it. All right, I guess I'm using Iqmal. I've tried everywhere else. Nobody's got it. All right.
Okay.
As you know, on the morning of
all
Thursday,
and the public
August 31st,
have had a
inmate
number-
Danelo Cavalcante escaped from the Chester County Prison. In a few minutes, I'll provide an update on where we stand with the status of the manhunt for Cavalcante. But first, I know you all and the public have had a number of questions about the actual escape made by Cavalcante. I'm going to turn this over to Acting Warden Holland to talk about that. I'd ask that following his remarks, you hold any questions until the end of our briefing, and we will be happy to take questions at that time.
Thanks, sir. I just want to ensure that we know the gravity of the situation and how it's impacted our community negatively. Moreover, to the victims of this individual, I want to make sure that they know that we are consistently and consciously thinking of what they're going through and give out the fact that they continually are in our thoughts and prayers to make sure we bring Mr. Cavalcante to justice. So good afternoon. I am Howard Holland, the acting warden of the Chester County Prison. I'm here today to provide preliminary details of the escape of Danelo Cavalcante. Let me begin by addressing the escape of Igor Bolt, which the media has been reporting on. Igor Bolt, which escaped on May 19th of this year. This escape was similar to the methodology of the escape by Cavalcante, and the escape by Igor Bolt allowed the prison to identify a deficiency in the exterior exercise yard where the escape occurred. This is also the same area, the escape yard, where Cavalcante was located prior to his escape. The exercise yard improvements undertaken after Bolt's escape were intended to address the escape route from the yard to the roof area. Security consultants were brought in, and improvements were based on the consultants' findings by a contracted security service. The improvement consisted of additional razor wire being placed in the yard area at the wall where the escape occurred to block access to the roof. The escape of Cavalcante is not just being internally investigated. Because it is in criminal nature, it is also being investigated by the State Attorney General's office. The video of Cavalcante's escape has been turned over to the criminal investigators. I will review the exact timeline and show a video of Cavalcante's escape from the exercise yard at the end of my remarks.
Ooh.
But can confirm that it does show that Cavalcante escaped at the same location as Igor Bolt, but for Cavalcante, there was razor wire to contend with before reaching the roof. Secondly,
All right, are we sure this is new? Because the whole world has seen that video 1,000 times.
Chester County Prison uses proven countermeasure security that are an industry standard. For example, high fencing, razor or barbed wire, secure doors or gates with sally ports to control movement, video cameras, and most importantly, correctional officers, all of which were in place and remain in place. One of the issues brought to light as we conduct our internal investigations on Cavalcante's escape is that once the additional razor wire had been added to the escape route, following Igor Bolt's escape in May, it was determined by our security advisors that this one level of security was sufficient. In fact, what was perhaps overlooked was the fact that addressing the single point of physical countermeasure should have been bolstered by additional means. We are addressing that. On Tuesday afternoon, yesterday, we had engineers from Trans Systems, a company which was selected by Lancaster County.
Yeah, this is old. This is the one from a few days ago. This wasn't from today. I knew I wasn't crazy. Yeah, this is the same one that was Wednesday. This is old. Fox Live now has it? All right, hold on. Where?
Arriving at that destination. I mean, I'm sure there's a...
So telling our stories helps.
Maui receives every resource available, and these resources get directly
To comment on what assistance
best place to start at a foundations here in
mountaintop. Still that country.
campaign or anyone.
some rainfall due to this kind of cold front.
to Cuba.
Another critical Indo-Pacific partner. New partner.
I want to get to some preventative measures that now it was once
Cavalcante is considered
Yeah, Fox Live only has like a 2-second update on it. This is all they have. Jay and Mel both had a play. Yeah, Iqmal was playing an old one. I'll try Jay, but Fox News only has... Oh, maybe they do have the whole thing. Hold on. Alright, let's try it. I did, Cindy. There's nothing there. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was confused.
extremely dangerous, and there is a reward of up to $20,000 offered for information leading to his capture. Anyone with information is asked to call our tip line at 717-562-2987. 717-562-2987. I know this is an extremely stressful time for the community. I assure you we are doing everything possible to bring this to a successful resolution as quickly as possible. I also want to make mention of a special thank you to Longwood Gardens. I will tell you that for some time, the past several days, we have had to essentially take over that property, and they have been very, very accommodating, and I appreciate that. Not everyone and not every business or organization would be as accommodating, and so I thank them. And with that, I will be happy, and as will the others here, to take any questions that you may have.
How do you allow this to happen? I mean, you had 400 officers within this perimeter. You had it closed down to a 4 square miles, I understand it. Yet he somehow slips through this perimeter and then is spotted in Phoenixville. How do you explain that?
Well, what I would tell you is that, as I've said from the very beginning, there are a number of challenges in any investigation. No perimeter is 100% secure, ever. We did a very good job, and I will tell you, I applaud the men and women who were out there standing in some very difficult conditions and trying to secure that perimeter. I'm not going to make an excuse to you. I wish it had not happened. Unfortunately, there are a lot of circumstances, there are a lot of issues associated with that property. Tunnels, very large drainage ditches, things that could not be secured. You couple that with weather, aviation being down for a night. There are a number of reasons. Again, no excuses. We took on the responsibility. We gave it a very good effort. We gave it an exceptionally good effort, and I applaud the men and women who have done another job.
Is there a reason to believe there were underground tunnels?
There are underground tunnels there.
Were you provided blueprints along with Gardens? Did the management there facilitate you in that aspect?
They did help us with blueprints, and as a matter of fact, there's additional construction that also has other tunnels and drainage areas that are under construction. Those cannot be secured. It's really that simple. So you do the best you can with any given circumstance. It's no different when it's a wooded search. It's no different when there are challenges with every one of them. And so we do the very best that we can. Our people did a great job, and I applaud them. I wish that he had not been able to slip through there, but that does happen sometimes, and that's why we don't simply rest on our laurels and say, okay, we're going to take one approach. I will tell you, I mean, to give you some idea, I brought you all in here on Friday and showed you the scope of this. I nearly doubled the planning for 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Our plan had been to go close to 600 members of law enforcement to do one massive sweep of that entire piece of property. There's a huge amount of planning goes into that, and working around weather and some of those other kinds of things. So it is not for a lack of trying that this occurred. We'll fall back, as we do in any other investigation. When something doesn't go our way, we'll fall back to something else. In the end, I am confident we will capture him, and we will bring him back into the criminal justice system.
So you believe that Cavalcante is getting...
I'm sorry, sir.
We're hearing that his sister was arrested.
Where are you focused now? Where is it?
Currently, we're up in a little more in the northern part of the county. I do not have a perimeter secured up there. We're searching an area around where we recovered the van, but there are a number of other pieces of information that are in play that don't require a perimeter and are the focus of our efforts at this point.
What's Cavalcante's family's involvement at this point? His mom was assisting you earlier, but we're now hearing that his sister's been arrested by ICE and possibly for deportation.
That is accurate.
And do you believe that he's getting cooperating? Do you believe that he's getting any assistance from those family members or anyone else in this community?
As always, I'm not going to comment on what assistance he may or may not be receiving, but we take steps to try and minimize or eliminate that assistance, and that's exactly what we've done at this point.
Where's the focal point of the search right now?
The physical search right now is near the recovery of that van. But again, there are a number of other things in play that don't require that physical presence up there, and those are all equally or even more important at this point.
You still believe he is in Pennsylvania and probably Chester County Have other special forces come in over the last few hours to support your efforts from other states? And then anything you tell us about the victim's family right now?
I do believe that he's still in Pennsylvania. I can tell you that the victim's family remains under protection, and we assure them that they will be fully protected through all of this. And I'm sorry, what was the other part of your question?
Additional support coming in from other states?
Yes, as always, we adjust. I just mentioned the planning that had, obviously I couldn't disclose to you ahead of time, but the planning that was going into tomorrow's efforts. We were bringing even more resources in. What we're doing now is shifting, again, based on the nature of how I see the investigation playing out and going forward. All of our partners here are doing an amazing job of shifting now and bringing the resources we need to bear. Yes, sir.
Can you repeat the location of where that van was located, just so we make sure we have that right? And then also, this video, or these images that you're sharing with us, what has the person who shared these images told you about what he's saying through this ring camera? What is he asking for? Does this tell you that he's now trying to get support from associates?
So the first part of your question, East Nantmeal Township in Chester County. The second part, I'm not going to be specific, but yes, he is absolutely, I'll give it a general characterization, he is absolutely looking for support. He needs that support. He doesn't have it. Yes, ma'am.
How did he get from Longwood Gardens over to Bailey's Farm and nobody saw him? If there's police cars all along Fallingville, Northbrook, the last few days, how come nobody saw him? How did he get there?
Well, ma'am, first of all, you've got darkness, you've got a variety of weather conditions, and you've got some fairly rugged terrain. And I mentioned, drainage ditches, underground tunnels, all of those kinds of things. There are a lot of factors. Until I capture him or we capture him and I or others have an opportunity to interview, and if he would share that, I guess then we'll know. But until then, I don't know how he got over there. I wish I did. I could speculate on a couple of possibilities, but I can tell you that, again, no perimeter is 100% secure. We do the best we can. Most times, we're able to secure it adequately.
For clarification, these images from the doorbell camera, they were from his acquaintance's home?
These were from, yes, it was, when I say an acquaintance, it was someone he had worked with several years ago. I'm not suggesting that they have a relationship with him now. It was someone he has worked with, but he sought out.
What's your location that he might have a weapon or anything? Is there anything from any of these videos or anything that indicates that?
I don't have any substantive proof right now that he has a weapon, but clearly he has been in residences, businesses, and in vehicles, at least one, that I can't say what may or may not have been in any of those locations that he had access to.
How much has this cost so far? How much will it cost?
When you download the Kroger app, you have...
Tell you, I'm not tracking the cost right now. We're doing what it takes to successfully run this investigation. In terms of what we need, I will tell you that our partners have been amazing. Anything that I've asked for,
every time. Download the Kroger app now.
A lot of expertise standing behind me and in the room over here. Anything that has been reasonably suggested by any of us, each of us steps up and accommodates with those resources. Well, again, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but I've suggested all along that there are a number of investigative and technological pieces that can be brought to bear. That is where this shifts until such time as we have him in a position where we're prepared to try and contain and capture him again.
Are you prepared
Yes,
to
ma'am.
characterize this as a nationwide manhunt?
Just 1 minute, sir.
Are you aware of any vigilante type people who are trying to help you guys, or citizen cops out there? I mean, there's a YouTuber who's running around.
Yes, I have heard that that's the case.
How do you reconcile what the professionals are doing with what the amateurs are doing? Are they helping you in any way, or not at all?
They're not helping us at all, and in fact, they become a hindrance. Again, some of the technology, some of our resources have to be diverted at times when they insert themselves into a scene. It's not helpful. I wish they wouldn't do it. I've asked that they not, but I can't stop them in some cases from doing it.
Again, are you prepared to characterize it? Sorry, Annie. Are you prepared to characterize?
See, that's what I was talking about. They don't want him there. But I pulled up the police scanner.
we have always looked at the potential that it could be a nationwide manhunt. The resources that are standing here with me already make it a nationwide manhunt. The information is being shared as appropriate across the country. This morning, before we even had a full picture, the information we had was being shared with appropriate law enforcement all across the country. And so we keep our law enforcement partners apprised of the progress or the setbacks for that matter. And and we work with them as necessary. So certainly, going forward, any information that we think is appropriate or could even potentially be utilized by partners will be shared, and the agencies represented here are in a position to do that.
Do you think that the officials you were getting intel about Cavalcante, those who knew best, prison guards, prosecutors, do you think that they underestimated how resourceful he is, how resilient he is? I mean, pretty impressive so far how he's been able to get around. Do you think that was?
No, I don't think anyone underestimated him. I think everyone knows that he is somebody that comes from a background where he has endured some hardship, and there's no doubt he is willing to endure some hardship now. His choice is to go to prison for the rest of his life. He chooses not to do that. Unfortunately, that is not what's going to prevail in the long run. And so he is very determined. We are even more determined. He will be held to justice, and we're going to bring him back into custody.
Two quick questions. Do we know where he got the hoodie and presumably the razor to shave? Was this at the dairy farm or another break-in?
The hoodie was at the dairy farm. I don't know about the razor.
And then the second question is, we know that in 2021, some people in Phoenixville helped him as he was trying to escape. Is the gentleman that he tried to reach out to one of those people?
I am aware of that information, and I don't want to comment any further on that right now.
What is your message
yes,
to
ma'am.
anyone who's trying to help?
Chance. So August 22nd, on or about, is when he was convicted, and he might have had come in contact with people. Is there any chance, upon that conviction and the people he was talking with, that he hatched this plan to escape on a certain day? I mean, it looked like he had a little help in the prison getting out. He had that watchdog guy there. But is there any thought that he started this whole process upon the day he was convicted? Like, is there any way to tell his defense attorney, etc.?
I don't know that there's a way to tell that it was that specific day. Do I think he has been trying to plot this? Yes. Do I think he took advantage of an opportunity that presented itself that other inmates told him about from a different inmate escaping that way? Yes, I think he took advantage of that opportunity. But he has any number of opportunities from the time he is convicted or even prior to have contact with his attorney, with family members, and so forth. And so at any point along the way, the plot could be hatched or the plot could be continued as it goes on. At this point, I am not in a position to say that on a specific day that's where it was hatched. Yes, ma'am.
What's your message to those in the community who may be trying to assist him in this, and what kind of charges could they face?
They will be prosecuted vigorously if we can prove that they assisted him. And the types of charges depends on the type of assistance. But we have the district attorney here, and I don't want to speak for her, but I'm certain that she is well prepared to prosecute anyone who assists in any way.
Yes, sir. Do we know anything about where he worked in Chester County prior to the murder in 2021? He seems to know that.
You mentioned that you're still investigating how he was able to breach that perimeter, but have you been able to pinpoint where in the perimeter that he was able to slip through, or general consensus of the area?
I have not been able to conclusively determine that. I have my suspicions where I believe or how I believe that happened.
Could you share that?
But no. But no, because I don't know conclusively. But again, I knew where the weaknesses were, and I think perhaps one of those weaknesses came into play here.
Lieutenant Colonel, at what point does another agency take over if he is in fact spotted?
Let me just say, the reason why I believe the psychic, and I agree with the psychic, they don't know if he's got a weapon on him. So they don't know if, as soon as they see him, if he's going to shoot at them, if he's got a weapon. Therefore, they're going to shoot to kill. End of story. So he knows if he gets caught, he's dead. Whether he wants to die by cop, I don't know, but I agree with the psychic on that. The more I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? 100% right. They don't know if he's got a weapon. They don't know if he's got a gun in his pocket. All he has to do is pretend he does, and they're going to shoot him. So I agree that he's going to go down by cop suicide.
Across state lines.
At that point, we certainly have all the federal partners here right now. The U.S. Marshals really takes the lead anytime you start crossing state lines, and they're here.
The only way they're going to actually put him in arrest is if, like, they bump into him. If they're really, really close to him and they bump into him. Otherwise, as soon as they see him, they're going to shoot.
A huge partner in all of this. We work hand in hand, not only when we're doing these kinds of investigations. We have people assigned to their offices that are deputized right along with their deputy marshals, and that work with them every day of the year. So this will be seamless if it ever does transition across the state line. Right now, there's no indication that that's the case, but if it does, it won't change the investigation much at all. It simply we would also then simply transition in another state police agency or whatever, whoever the lead investigative entity is in that state.
Jennifer, what's your message though to the community? I mean, they've been watching you guys chase this guy now. This is day 11. A lot of scrutiny coming towards your agency that you let him slip through this perimeter. What do you say to the people that are losing faith in not only the?
Oh, I don't know that people are losing faith.
Yeah, he committed murder in Brazil. He was wanted in Brazil for murder.
I will tell you that I think people realize we have given this a 100% effort, and as I said earlier, I'm proud of the effort that our people have put forth. I'll take responsibility for it. I lead this effort with them, and I'm proud to do it. I appreciate the support we've gotten from the community. I think the community recognizes that in any kind of a major operation like this, there are simply times things don't go the way you plan. That happens in investigations, it happens in manhunts, it happens in all kinds of things. I've had a long career in law enforcement. Rarely do things happen exactly as I plan. That's why if you're smart, you're planning contingencies and you're ready to adapt to whatever happens. This is a minor setback. We'll get them. It's a matter of time. Yes, sir.
Can you comment on why the sister was arrested?
As was alluded to earlier, there are some immigration issues. Beyond that, I don't have any other comment.
Sorry if you already answered this, but have you interviewed and gotten in touch with the people that helped him in 2021?
As I said earlier, I am aware of that information, but I'm not prepared to discuss what actions we've taken with regard to it.
Two things. We've been getting some tips about a sighting at a church. Can you confirm that?
I don't have.
Going out of a church parking lot?
No, I don't have any information about that.
Any chance he's still in Phoenixville and someone drove that van up there?
Wait, just one second.
In prison. When he is caught, what happens to that sentence? Is there any addition tacked onto it?
He can be charged, and there can be an addition put on. I can tell you that there's already a commitment that he will go directly to a state correctional facility when he is captured, and we'll work through the rest of what occurs at that point, depending on the circumstances. I'm sorry.
What I personally find very interesting is that they are acting like they're going to catch him and he's just going to put up his hands and it's going to be no problem. And that is like, anyone buying that, I have a bridge for you. The guy has eluded police for this long. What is it, 12 days now? Tomorrow's September 11th. I don't think, maybe they will be looking for him just as much, but I don't think so. Cops are going to be doing other things, worrying about 9/11. And I just find it interesting how they're selling this story like this armed and dangerous killer from illegal alien from another country who murdered his girlfriend in front of her children and was convicted to life in prison is just going to get caught after being on the run for however many days and is just going to put his hands up. Like, okay, you got me. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? The guy escaped from prison. From prison. He scaled a fucking wall like Spider-Man. Copped over barbed wire fence without a scratch. And you think he's just going to put his hands up? Like, hello? Wake up, media.
I'm sorry, man. I need to come back to you.
Did anybody see him driving the white van? Or could it have been someone else? And he's in Phoenixville, somebody ditched that van up there. Is that a realm possibility?
No, I'm confident it was him in the van.
Are you even able to establish a perimeter now that he seems to have gone farther?
As I said earlier, a large perimeter isn't the answer in every single investigation or every time or at every point in an investigation. And so we established a small temporary perimeter. We're still holding that in that area while we finish that search. If it's not successful, there's no reason to hold that perimeter. I mentioned to you that there were a number of delays in the reporting of this to us. So we would look to other opportunities to further the investigation. Perhaps later today, perhaps tomorrow, perhaps the day after, if it still goes on that long, there may be a need for another significant perimeter like we had here. And if so, we will absolutely do that, and we will absolutely do our best to capture him at that time.
So do you know whether he has a communication, cell phone, or anything like that?
I don't want to offer any opinion on that right now. I've said before, there are varying degrees of confidence. I think it's fair to say 8 or 9 easily.
Sir, so many people were at the Mushroom Festival yesterday and today, and so many people have expressed how grateful they are to law enforcement coming in, county, state, federal, to keep the community safe, which you have this weekend here in the Kennett Square region. For the people that live here locally, can you give us any insight into where he was hiding, specifically overnight? Do we have any evidence of anywhere he might have slept one of these nights as the effort's been going on since prior to Labor Day?
No, there's really not anything I can disclose now.
From
Sir.
Blackland to Nantmill, he seems to have gone west about 11 miles. He was behind the wheel, as you point out.
Yes.
He literally ran out of gas. So as you try to kind of make up for any ground lost, where do you think he was going if he was going west?
Well, again, I think he's looking for assistance, and I think he had a reason to do that.
Where would be his next stop? Had he not?
Well, I'm not going to go any further than that, but I think that that's a strong motivator for someone if they're looking for assistance.
Quick question about the church that was at Bonnie Brae Road. There were people who said they saw a white van and another car pull out. Have you been able to investigate that?
We have investigated Bonnie Brae. It just wasn't. I didn't realize that's the church. If you're talking about that, there was an incident at Bonnie Brae.
So
but
is that a confirmed or
yes,
sighting?
yes. Just it didn't involve. At least the aspect that I saw did not involve the church.
Is there another car involved with that? Of that, people had said that there was a white van pulling out with another car involved.
No.
Prior to him going to Phoenixville, was there any law enforcement stationed over by his sister's house before this all happened?
I'm not going to talk about where we have assets at this point, but I think it's very reasonable to think that law enforcement assets were, given the number of people we had assigned to this, very reasonable to think that there were law enforcement assets anywhere that it would have been appropriate to do so. Yes, sir.
Can you touch on any of the specific challenges law enforcement is going to be dealing with Cavalcante's potential access to the vehicle?
Well, I mean, certainly he is a very determined individual, and so one of the challenges that we face is if people don't heed our advice, and as we had here, a vehicle unlocked with keys in it, that makes our job more difficult, and it makes it much easier for him to succeed in various aspects of his escape efforts. And so, I go back to, we want to make this as difficult as possible for him. We ask for cooperation in trying to do that.
Do you regret shortening the perimeter at that time at all?
No, it was absolutely the right thing to do. We can strengthen it as we bring it in. It wasn't a matter of him being outside of the perimeter. He was in there. We had sightings once we had it in there and had the perimeter strengthened. It was simply a matter of you can't guarantee 100% of the time that you can contain somebody with a perimeter of that size even.
So there's video of him and audio of this interaction here that we're looking at, the stills of.
Yes.
But you're not releasing it?
Not at this time, no.
Does he have any eventually?
I don't know. That'll be to be determined as we go forward. What we wanted to do was let the public know, really the important thing here was to let the public know what his appearance is right now, and so we took some of the best stills out of that video. The rest of it is not necessarily so important. This is what matters
But I asked
in
you
terms.
at the command center the other day, why not just be fully transparent about everything that?
Oh, I think we've been exceptionally transparent through this investigation, and at some point, perhaps I will release the video. This has been a fluid investigation. Most of the people in here probably haven't slept an hour in the last 24 hours, and so my focus isn't on how can I maximize the content that I can push out. It's how do I maximize the content that is necessary to effectively move this investigation forward, and that's what we're trying to do with these. We'll make decisions on the video. There's nothing to hide with the video. It's just it takes more effort and things away from the other investigative steps that we're taking, and so for right now, we hurried up and got some stills ready so that we could release those.
Does he have any cartel or human trafficking gang affiliations, or were you confident to say this is a lone fugitive?
He has had gang affiliations in the past. I wouldn't speculate as to what he's got right now.
Does Mexico become a possibility again?
Oh, we've never discounted that, and not just Mexico, we've never discounted that any international escape effort shouldn't be considered. Those are always things that have been taken into account right from the very start. Again, when I talked about having contingency planning, we're trying to make sure that that can't happen.
Is it overstating it to say that you don't know where he is right now? Generally, specifically, that he's...
No. Do I know a specific spot where he is right now? No. Do I think generally I have an idea where he is? Probably, but not specifically enough that I could say let's put a hard perimeter up right now. Okay.
That general area is East Nightmare.
Yes.
So when he was sentenced to prison, why was he not deported back to his own country? Why was it illegal immigrant for him to be put into jail here where one thing for him to be there for the rest of his life?
Well, ma'am, that's not a decision that I have any input or anything else about. I can just tell you that those decisions are made by judges and others in the judicial system.
Do you still have the same order, and forgive me for not phrasing it correctly, but the order to shoot on sight for your troopers?
I have still left that order stand that that deadly force is authorized if he is not actively surrendering.
And
yes.
for those agencies that are under the Department of Justice umbrella?
They have their own use of force rules.
And what are they in this situation?
I would let them speak for themselves about that.
Comment on where exactly you believe he shaved in an effort to change his appearance to avoid capture?
No, I really can't offer an opinion on where he shaved. Yes.
We're kind of close to an area with some Amish communities. Have authorities been in touch with them?
We have relied on our partners in local government, at county government levels, through the emergency management folks. We're trying to do our very best, as appropriate, to get information out to each of those communities. Certainly, if we thought there was a specific threat in the Amish community, we would directly focus our efforts there, but we're trying to keep everyone as informed as is reasonable. Yes, sir.
And how are you doing? How's morale?
You know, morale is good. There are people have heard me say this in the command post since the very beginning. I've done this many times. Not always to this size and extent, but we've done these so many times. It's a roller coaster. There are ups and downs. There always are, and all of a sudden, it'll be resolved, and there he is. The important thing is, hopefully we don't get anyone in the community hurt, and we don't get any of our people hurt, and we bring this to a successful conclusion. It'll happen.
Just wanted one more point of clarification about the dairy farm.
Yes.
You were saying thieves were still in the van, family was inside working, but they didn't notice their van had...
No, the family wasn't inside working. They were sleeping. It was overnight.
Okay. And then so they didn't notice that their van was missing until law enforcement notified them?
Correct. In the early morning hours this morning. Okay. All right. Again, I thank you all. We'll let you know as more developments occur, and we'll schedule press briefings as necessary and regularly in the interest of transparency. So, okay. Thank you all.
Well, there we have it, the latest information from investigators down there in Pennsylvania. And take a look at that. New photos released of that escaped inmate, Danelo Cavalcante. He has changed his appearance, and that was the biggest thing that police, deputies, law enforcement wanted to reinforce during this press conference. Still, it seems that this suspect is evading police. I want to pull up a full screen here of the tweet from Pennsylvania State Police saying the updated photos of Cavalcante, reference the post below, and dial 911 if seen or call the tip line.
Okay, I'll tell you why I don't believe he had help. And I have the Chester County Law Enforcement Dispatch in the background. But here's why I don't think he had help. Because why would he still be in his jail pants? If someone was helping him, you would think he would have said, bring me a pair of jeans or a pair of, you know, any kind of pants. Because jail pants are a dead giveaway. I mean, he's not a nurse. So the fact that he's still in his jail pants tells me that he doesn't have someone helping him. That he's doing this on his own. Secondly, one thing that I haven't heard discussed at all, which I read a couple of minutes before I went live, he went to two of his ex-co-workers' houses. Neither one were home, though. But that's where he went, and one of them called it in. That's where the ring camera came from, was one of his old co-workers. And again, I haven't listened to this as much as most of you guys.
Holland, I'm good.
But I find that interesting.
Yeah, 30 Holland.
I find that interesting that he's trusting people. Even he probably doesn't know there's a $20,000 reward on his head. But he's trusting people, like his old co-workers, to actually go to the house. That's why he was in Phoenixville to begin with. So, being that he went to their door, and he knocked on their door, or I don't know if he knocked, but again, he probably doesn't know there's a $20,000 hit on him. See, I don't know where you heard that, Fernando, but that doesn't seem right that he went into a bank wearing jail pants. That just doesn't seem right to me. So I don't know where you heard that. But he's not that stupid. And he wouldn't be caught outside in the middle of the day wearing jail pants. So I don't know where you heard that. Who's Nick? I don't know who Nick is. I see you guys keep talking about a Nikki or a Nick. I don't know who that is. Please wait 2 hours. He's affiliated with... I don't think he's affiliated with the gang, but I don't know for sure. Yeah, he didn't go into a bank. I don't know where people are here. I've seen some rumors on other channels that didn't add up. Yeah, he went to his old co-workers. That's who the, Nick the I don't know who that is, Spitfire. Yeah, I'll show you the article. Nick the Hat on Twitter and has you. Oh, that's the guy that, yeah, I read something about him, that he got like thousands of followers instantly. Is this up? Yeah, here it is. I don't know if he was in a gang. I could be wrong. Oh, he was in a gang back in Brazil. It slipped out of the ring, 400, blah, blah, blah. Alright. He appeared on a doorbell camera at the house of a former co-worker in East Pikeland Township, more than 25 miles away. He had driven there, said Lieutenant George Bivens of PA State Police, in a refrigerated van stolen on Saturday from a dairy farm outside the perimeter that authorities had set up to catch him. That night, Mr. Cavalcante stopped at the houses of two people he had worked with. Bivens said, though neither was home. Then he drove west into the Pennsylvania countryside. The van was found on Sunday morning behind a barn in East Natmeal Township, small village 12 miles from East Pikeland, amid cornfields and thick woods, and apparently run out of gas. Continue aggressively proceeding on this search and this investigation. So yeah, like I said, I had not heard that he went right to a coworker's and that's where this came from. So no, he hasn't been out there the whole time. I mean, are they gangs in Pennsylvania? Oh, I don't agree Sunday at all. He went to get help. So I was watching TikTok and this psychic, I was going through it. I don't even know the person's name. But the psychic on TikTok said that she did some card reading. And the reading said that he will be shot by police no later than Wednesday. And that's it. And she firmly suggests that he's going to die that way. And it will happen before Wednesday. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I have to agree with it. I can't deny that. Because I agree with her. I think that's exactly how he's going to go down. He's going to go down by cops shooting him. Whether it happens by Wednesday or not, I don't know. Personally, I think it could happen tomorrow. No, Pennsylvania. Where did he bet the weapon? What weapon? But there was this other chick on TikTok that showed a picture that looked like somebody in her backyard, and the dog was like barking in the middle of nowhere. It was pretty interesting. She kind of got annoying after a while though. I don't think they're getting him. Because he's not leaving Pennsylvania. He hasn't left Pennsylvania. All he has to do is steal a car. It was reported that he took knives in one of the break-ins. Let's see. Hold on. I mean, I'm sure he's armed. I would be totally shocked if he wasn't. But he's going to stay armed in case he needs something. What if he needs food? Alright. And I don't see Nick the Hat, you said his name was? I don't see anyone by the name Nick the Hat. Sweet Misery, what is, what is the name of that channel?
I don't know. He drive around more than me. He put in more miles than I do.
I don't see this guy's channel. Hey, Sly.
Passed a lot of police. Nick did? They are back in the same area again, looks like, says Mike D. Happy birthday, says, happy birthday, Trev. Have a wonderful day, says Dawn. Thank you so much. Morning from UK. Shout out to my UK people and everybody cross country. Everybody that's in here supporting. Thank you guys so much. Whoa, I see him coming in majorly. Thank you, Mom, to 5 Kings. Mom to 5 Kings, thank you so much. She says, happy birthday, Trev. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm feeling old now. You know?
Well, it's T-Rev's birthday. Happy birthday, T-Rev. I thought T-Rev went out there too, but I guess not. That's his YouTube name? Alright.
Have you tried the high school and sitting up on the property from the high school?
No.
Do you know where that is?
No. Which high school?
O&J.
O&J. Cool.
I saw you on the live. I'm like,
oh, did you?
Where the fuck is he?
Alright, cool.
Because you said Favinger, right?
Yeah.
Which is, you came from like east, like.
So we went to like Laurelwood and Harmony, and there's a lot of activity
So
over
that's
there.
over down by St. Pete.
Yeah, there's a lot over there.
Because I know they're sitting right there too.
Yeah, and all the way down here, right to Sunoco, all over.
Someone said that.
Let me mute this. Hold on, guys.
67441 South, okay. Yeah, 67441, okay.
Okay, so 5,000 people are watching this guy sit in a car and do nothing. Am I understanding this correctly? I mean, that's legit all they're doing.
You know if I call 21.
But the police you hear is a scanner I have in the background.
21. 711. 200 Nut Road. Medics are being dispatched out for a fall. Control, roll back in. Three, call 19. Unit 3, call 19. 3, call 3, going to have one male in custody, DUI. Unit 3, call 19, okay, copy. All three has one male in custody for DUI.
If this pans out.
Yeah, but Kendra, there's not a lot of mainstream media because there's nothing to talk about. That's why there's not a lot of mainstream media.
Hold on, we're going closer to a road. Let me. So we're about 5 minutes out. That's how big this park is. Wow. So we're heading to something.
possibly something. We're going to find out if there is activity. I don't want to say anything unless there is, so I'm not going to divulge. I mean, maybe it's true, maybe it isn't. We're going to find out. If it is, cool.
I'm getting dizzy with the shaking.
Don't stop too much. They're setting up like a command post here, it looks like. And this is at Favinger Road, and we're approaching Pottstown Pike.
Unit 30 Polly, I received your stop. Where's your Foxville Road?
It's like a 25. Go down all these fields. We're good. We got him. But nah, you don't, bud. He's over in close to this location. And I mean, there's a storm coming, I think. And this guy's been getting hit with storms left and right. We're rather clean for being in for.
Polly, I'm good.
Hey, Coffee.
Yeah, 30 Polly, you okay?
There's like people going up to troopers and asking questions. It's kind of funny. But we're just grabbing gas.
Nick's in there. Say hi to him, man. Nick.
Come on.
Been fogging like crazy, my
Really?
brother.
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good.
You been over there?
Look how cool the cops are here, guys. They're showing, like, they turn on their lights and stuff to hang out with the locals. So everybody's kind of friendly, especially the police. Better see like blood. It's kind of cool how they're letting like people hang around.
Three three call 16. Yeah, 3-3 call 16. I go from the on-call for a Honda Civic with the keys around the Domino's. Yeah, 3-3 call 16, okay.
Queen Bee just wrote in there, Ichtmel told me to adopt your YouTube champ. I don't use Twitter. The fuck does that mean? I'm not staying on much longer, sweet one. Unlike some others, I'm not making any money or super chats, so I'm getting off in a minute.
You know, it's about 41. Check out the Steve for phone summon.
Alright, let's head out. Alright, so some locals are going to follow us. We're going to that address I just gave you guys. I didn't want to go too quick because we're not night crawlers. I'm not trying to beat the police to anything. So, we're on our way. We're 4 minutes away. So, we're going. Oh, I didn't go in this time. But I'll go in next time.
Thank you, Fat.
I'm here, Mike. Look at it.
You're up late.
We're gonna hit this up. What am I eating? I just had a little pizza Lunchable, and I didn't want to like chew on the.
Yeah.
You guys would hear me eating.
3-3 call 16.
This psychic said that he gets taken out no later than Wednesday.
Hit subscribe. I always try to tell them, but they do it every time. I tell them it's a problem, but they acting like it's fine. I'm begging them to stop, but they leave me with a like.
That he gets taken out no later than Wednesday, and that she believes that he is going down, that he's not going to be rearrested, and he's going to get captured and shot no later than Wednesday.
I go from the on-call for a Honda Civic with the keys. We're in the parking lot of Domino's. 3-3 call 16, okay. Also, ball 41, check out the key for a phone summon. Yeah, 3-2 call 16, okay, on Eagle. 16, thanks.
Yeah, where was it? Animal complaint on Horseshoe Lake last night.
Old Horseshoe and Horseshoe.
I found the reason for that. He hit it with his front of his car. His car completely caved in.
Yeah, so we're heading to.
See, here's my other question, though. What if Daniel jumps out in front of a car? Are they going to hit him? Like, what are they going to do? That's why I don't understand all these people there.
It's funny because the other thing was when I was chewing, other people in other cars had this stream blasting, and I kind of heard it, and I'm like, oh God, so I hit mute. Because it was, I didn't notice it was that, it picked up that sound that quick. I'm like the rapper. Or Laurelwood, I'm sorry.
Personally, I find nothing exciting about watching a guy drive around. That's just me, though. It's just me. Speed up and get their reward. I'm just saying, he's not coming to the middle of the road.
Yeah, 1691.
He's not popping out on the road. He's not waving anyone down.
Yeah, 1691 reference to third emotional disorder.
I mean, let's use a little logic.
Something specific for you was stupid from Valley Creek Crisis.
And here's my other thought. Oh.
Okay.
I'm sure they will. But here's my other thought. Hold on. Let me stop broadcast. Alright. Here's my other thought. Maybe because I have a mainstream mentality, but don't you think that if there was something there, at least one reporter would be there? Mainstream media would be there? There's a reason why mainstream media is not there, because there's nothing to report. That's what I'm saying, Coffee. He'd be like the first one calling the police. And that's the part I just don't get. I don't understand what these people are doing or why everybody's so obsessed with it. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think he's going to pop out and say hello? And what would you do? He's armed and dangerous. Like, I'm sorry, I just don't get it. Same reason mainstream media is not there. There's nothing to see. If something happens and they catch them, yeah. I guess you have to be there to do it, but I don't know. I just find nothing entertaining about this. But that's just me. And again, I have a mainstream mentality. If there was something good to watch, mainstream would be there. If something happens, mainstream's there. If you can't get into, and I understand that, Coffee, but even if that's true, mainstream media would probably be there faster than them being there. Because, like, they're not letting any of these people into press conferences. I heard JLR was denied a press conference. Like, they're just people hanging out. I don't know. That's just the way I see it. So, but believe me, if something breaks, I'll be the first one to go live. The first one. Exactly. If there was a real hunt going down and it was confirmed that he was and once, I totally agree. You can pick on him while he's driving. How's he doing, by the way? Is he doing better? But you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just me. But maybe that's why these people have 5,000 and I have not even 100. Yeah, they had a sighting today in Phoenixville, and then he's been cleared from Phoenixville. In order for him to keep his head on straight, he's got to sleep. He's in an underground tunnel right now sleeping. He has to sleep. So he found a way to hide when he's sleeping. So, and I agree with you, Coffee, though. I totally agree that if they had a sighting and they were about to get him, and I'd be the first one to go live. But just to drive around aimlessly when there's not even that many cops around, there's a reason why cops are not there right now. They need to sleep. I'm sure there's some cops on, but not like it is during the day. And old dude probably knows that. I got epoxy in my hair. I was feeling it before. I'm like, holy shit. Whoop. Sorry, I'm getting off though. There's nothing happening. If something should happen, because I'll be working on furniture, if something should happen, I will be live. But I am curious to see if the psychic is right. I think he had revenge on his mind. It's the only reason I could think of him going to his coworker. No, I think he was going to his coworkers for help. He probably wanted a bed. You're right, Fayette. I just can't believe I got it in my hair. Like the back of my neck. I was like, what the hell's in my head? Huh. So Patreons, video 2, I'm going to drop it tomorrow. Reaction video to number 2. To Convicting a Murderer 2. Then I'm going to do 3 2 days later, and then 4 comes out on the 14th. Yeah, but I don't think he can leave the state. He's in a stolen car. And why would he want revenge on the coworkers? There's no reason for that. You know? So, all right. I'm getting off, though. I will see you beautiful people tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. And that's it. Peace.